How's it going, boys? My name is Schlatt, and welcome back to the Weekly Slap. We are now 2 weeks in a row, so you can thank your lucky stars for that. And let's get back into Inbox, shall we? This is the show, of course, about spending $95,000 on a statue of a monkey with fat nuts because it was funny. And also, your job. Seriously, I think I found something dumber than NFTs. I really think this is the stupidest thing I've done in a while. But hey, whatever it took to get me out of that little funk, huh? Fucking 2 days after I make this whole video about how I'm not really feeling like doing this job anymore. And then I'm like, oh yeah, also help me buy this big statue of a monkey with these fat nuts. Anyways, let's get into it. Let's talk. Hi, Schlatt. I've been struggling all my life with selfishness, and it's been really bothering me recently. I can never seem to bring myself to help others when they need it, or do something for someone temporarily. I have anxiety, which of course would prevent me from doing most things, like simply interacting with somebody or going outside, but I don't like to see it as an excuse. For example, my friend needed a picture of the stars and asked me to take it for them. They can't walk. I agreed but never followed through with this, and I don't think I will, mostly due to my own selfishness. And yes, I know it doesn't seem like a huge deal, but before this I had asked them for help numerous times on a project, and of course they followed through every time, always being as helpful as they can. I do this a lot with any simple or required request anybody would give me, and I usually end up letting them down, which is the worst part. I'm starting to think it might be some sort of narcissism I picked up from my parents, but I'm not sure. Despite my selfishness, I really do love my friends a lot, but I feel like I can't be a good friend to anyone if I'm like this. I really want to change. What do you think? I'll tell you what I think. You want to know what I think, huh? First of all, I think you need to stop, wondering about whether or not this is from your parents. I don't really give a shit about that, and I don't think anybody else does. I mean, this is your problem. I feel like I can't be a good friend to anybody. Yeah, I mean, you're not really being a good friend. I don't think you're being a good friend if you don't ever follow through with what they ask of you, especially if they're holding up their end of the bargain, right? Relationships are a two-way street. I think you got to put it in perspective, man. I mean, your friend just wanted a picture of the stars. You put it in parentheses that they are disabled and they can't walk. Just take the fucking pic. I mean, dude, I struggle with putting things off, right? I'll let things stack up. I'll wake up to a bunch of messages and then not answer any of them, and then I'll get another message, and I'll be like, oh, well, I can respond to this now, but I have all these other things I need to do, so I'm just not going to do it either. And shit just stacks up, man. And then what I usually do when shit stacks up is I shut down and I don't do anything, which is a perfect trait to have. I mean, just fantastic, regardless, I mean, is it selfishness or is it just laziness? What are you doing? Are you busy with your own shit 24/7? Is that why you can't seem to, have a minute to help your friends out? Or, are you just letting things stack up? I mean, that would make you lazy. There's a quote from the Bible that I think you're really going to like. It's from, I love preaching. I love proselytizing to the children. This is from Proverbs, and it basically goes, it's along the lines of if your neighbor asks you for something, and then you're like, come back later. I'll do it for you tomorrow or something, when you can do it right now, then fucking do it right now. Fucking do it right now. If you have a bunch of clothes in the dryer or the washer that need to go in the dryer, right? Put them in the fucking dryer now. When you hear that beep, just fucking go and do it. It'll take you 2 minutes and you'll be happy you did it. You'll feel productive, and your clothes won't start smelling like shit once you put it off for another 12 hours, right? Then you're going to have to wash them again, and you'll feel guilty because you could have done it sooner, but you just felt like not doing it. And I mean, the same thing goes for these relationships. You'll start seeing consequences for it, man. And I've experienced it. There have been times when I've said no and have declined doing things and going out with friends and partying, and then you just stop getting invitations. If you continuously don't make good on your promises, your friends are going to start to walk away. Maybe except the wheelchair one. Hey Schlatt, I'm in my last year of high school before going to university, and I have no real support for what I want to go into. My goal is to be in the film production world, be editing or filming for videos, shows, or even for some YouTubers. The issue I'm facing is my dad is the one who's paying for my post-secondary, and he doesn't see this as a job or a way to make a living, especially for a girl. He wants me to go into sciences or business so it's easy to get a job, even if I don't enjoy what I do for the rest of my career. I'm the type of person to believe you should enjoy what you do or change the ways in which you do it so you can enjoy it in the future. My mom passed in March this year, and she supported my dreams of going into the film field, but my parents divorced when I was younger, so I've lived with my dad ever since. He doesn't understand the new era of job possibilities that have emerged with things like YouTube, Twitch, or even film studios, and there's no way of changing his mind. I was wondering if he had any input on what I should or could do in this situation. Thank you. Look, you're asking the wrong guy about pursuing your dreams. Anyone who's watched The Slap for long enough knows that I'm about setting yourself up for stability over doing something that, is risky. I mean, you can go back and listen to episodes of The Weekly Slap when I am still in college, still working a job that has nothing to do with YouTube, and just doing YouTube on the side because that was my dream. And I'm just sitting there being like, yeah, I'm not going to drop out of college. I'm not going to do anything dumb. And to be fair, I did drop out of college, but that was only when I had, when I had made my dream a viable source of income to the point where it wasn't risky anymore to drop out. And I could just, my reasoning for that was I could just go back whenever, I can put a pause on the university side of things, but opportunities like that when it comes to YouTube and Twitch streaming, I mean, those are pretty fleeting. So I decided to take that one up, and that took a lot of fucking convincing to my parents. Dude, the reality of the situation when it comes to YouTube, especially, and when it comes to Twitch, especially, I mean, I don't know much about the mainstream old school film industry, but in general, when it comes to entertainment, you can learn all of it on your own by watching shit online. I mean, I'm sure there's some Khan Academy equivalent of all this shit. I mean, I used to watch Film Riot a lot when I was trying to do VFX and that kind of stuff and become a short filmmaker and all that. And even more important than watching shit is just doing it. If you have a passion for this stuff, you need to get out there and fucking do it. You need to make shit. You need to make connections online. That's what everybody has done. I mean, ask anybody in this field who's made it, I guess, in air quotes, and they will all tell you that this is something they were working on for fuck knows how long, right? I mean, this isn't a decision they made when they were 19. Having to go to college when they were 17, having to go to college the next year. And they finally decided, you know what, now is when I want to, I really think college will be the time when I start to veer into this whole YouTube thing. It's just not really how it works. And I'm not saying you haven't been working at it or something, or that you're not really interested in it, but the place to do it is not college. College is not the place where it happens. I was in computer science. YouTube was obviously my passion. It was my dream job. And I could see myself working a 9 to 5. I was in school full time to become a career programmer, right? A code monkey, if you will. I was going to work for Daddy Zuckerberg and all these great, fantastic people who we all love so much. And even while doing full-time schooling and while working a part-time job that had nothing to do with, what I wanted to do, I still made time to do YouTube because that's what I really wanted to do. And like I said, you can find videos of me saying that I didn't want to quit college because it just wasn't the move for me. And I mean, it's survivorship bias for me to say that you should follow your dreams when there are people like me who did, and they just straight up didn't make it. They just straight up are not where I am now. Look, I mean, if you can find something that you see yourself comfortable with and, with a stable income, something that provides those two things while also giving you the time to work towards making that dream come true on the side, I'd take that any day of the week over a failed dream and way too much debt. That's just how I feel on it, man. I'm not telling you to go into the fucking sciences or do something that you hate, but, especially when it comes to the new side of things. I mean, take it from someone who's in the new side of things. It doesn't happen in college. It doesn't. YouTube and Twitch and editing for YouTubers and Twitch, You don't get that kind of position when you show your bachelor's degree that you spent way too much fucking money for. It's just not how it happens. I'd love to hear everybody's thoughts on the topic. If you got any advice or experiences you'd like to share, please do leave a comment. You can listen to these episodes on Spotify now. They're all up there. Just search The Weekly Slap. I mean, you know how to get there. And of course, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you again very soon.